Hello and welcome to Muzickz-Ology. I am your host Chad Miller, and in this episode we're talking about Rufus Wainwright. Now, many of you might not actually know who Rufus Wainwright is by name, but you've heard him, and I guarantee that you've heard him based on this song alone, which I'm going to play a cover of that I've done, which is a cover that he did for a movie, which is also a cover of the same movie based on a cover of an original song. So this is like initially the fourth time it's been covered, once unofficially by myself, but I'm playing my version. So some of you will know that that comes from one of the Shrek movies. Hey, yay. But in all actuality, back in the day of 1998, there was an article in Entertainment Weekly that focused on Rufus Wainwright's debut self-titled album that caught my attention. And it caught my attention because this was one of the very first few times that, since only being out of the closet for roughly 3 years, that they've spotlighted an openly gay man as a musician in their own feature. In Entertainment Weekly, kind of a big deal at the time. I mean, well, pretty darn good big deal. And in all honesty, well deserved. Giving just a brief history on Rufus, he stems from French Canada and stems from Canadian folk music royalty. Loudon Wainwright, Kate McGarrigle being his parents. He's got a rich background as far as musicality and music education and appreciation and style, and when I bought his album, looking back on it now, so many years later, while I loved it back then, I appreciate it so much more now as a grown man compared to a early 20s young man. So I'm gonna run through my favorite songs by Rufus Wainwright, original songs, and I'll explain a few things along the way, but original songs -1, 10-1, beginning now. Coming in at number 10 is the song Poses, and I guess to some degree that you could say that this is kind of a given nature for a song about posing yourself for acceptance within a community, within an audience, within a structure. And it's a great song in that aspect because it does convey that, but with very subtle and simple notes. But the musicality of his work is really what sells what Rufus does. There's a lot of orchestration and there's a lot of operatic influences in his music, and that's what we're going to find as a running theme throughout this list. And just aside just the sheer talent of who he is as a musical individual and a vocalist even, and you know, we're gonna find, you know, pop elements hidden in there, you know, along the way, but this man is an underwritten genius in the world of music, and Poses is just the start. Coming in at number 9 is a song called Cigarettes and Chocolate Milk, and it's a fun little title, and it's all about addiction, and it's quirky, it's fun, it's popish, but it still has those wonderful, like, classical and operatic undertones to it. And it's also a lot about expectation, and it's very powerful and poignant, and I think to a degree we can all relate to this song in a way, and it resonates very, very well. Coming in at number 8 is a song called Shadows, and this is a song that falls along the lines of what I believe to be Rufus's feelings about falling into the shadows of the legacy of his parents and their musical trajectory. They've had their own success and, you know, failures in their own rights. And kind of like what I said, they were kind of like Canadian music royalty to a degree. So, but there's a lot of expectation and disappointment and worthiness, and it's kind of like, okay, you know what? I might be living in your shadow, but I'm gonna be who I am. So there's lots of pride and there's lots of empowerment in this song as well. Coming in at number 7 is a bit of a, wow, a double-sided personal favorite that surprisingly isn't higher on this list considering the context, but the song is called Danny Boy, and according to Rufus, it was written about a straight boy that he had idolized, and this also hit me in ways, well, in 2 ways. In my personal life, because my first real, true, serious boyfriend was named Danny, and one of my first crushes was a straight boy named Daniel. And so there was a lot of reckoning that I've had to do with this song and come to peace with in the long run. So it's not that it's a bad song. It's not that it triggers bad memories. It's just a song that resonates with me very well, and the pop influences are great. The musicality is awesome, and oh yeah, just yes, love the song. But there's so much more to come, so hang on. So coming in at number 6 is a song called In My Arms, and this is a tragic yet hopeful song with a hint of just a grace of happiness just looming over it. And I worked on my second amateur film, and I named it In My Arms Tonight, which was basically evoked from this song. And it's just, oh, it's so powerful. It's so evocative. It's so, like, I just get swept up in, and I'm sorry about background noise. It's really windy outside. But, yeah, it's crazy, like, what his music does to me. Yeah, this list is hard to rate, and, but I must continue on. Coming in at number 5 is a song called April Fools, and it's pretty much exactly what you would expect it to be, with the context of the classical and operatic elements that Rufus is known for. And it's whimsical, it's foolish, it's and it's dancey to a degree that I don't think that most modern audiences would agree to. But I mean, I could find myself just like, you know, prancing around, you know, to the song. Coming in at number 4 is a song called Oh What a World, and at the time that it was released, it was a very, very, very deep commentary on the world that we lived in at the time. I think it still resonates to this day. Thematically beautiful as far as lyrics, music, orchestry. It's not a happy song. It's a hopeful song to a degree, but you kind of feel that sense of dread that some things are just never going to change. And that's where the song is at. But it's just so beautifully made and executed and powerful. Number 3 is an interesting story. Rufus decided that he was going to completely recreate Judy Garland's performance at Carnegie Hall, her iconic performance at Carnegie Hall, all on his own, and do it live, and he did it. And one of my most favorite songs by Judy is "The Man That Got Away." And years ago, I did a video on YouTube, with, I mean, what was outdated technology, but I got slammed for it. But it was really, it became one of my karaoke staples. And it was great to hear another man sing this song. And I just, I didn't want to put a cover song on this list, but just because it hits so emotionally and personally, and the work that he put into this to recreate such a legendary moment in an iconic legend's life. Phenomenal. I can't get away from it at all. And it's bone chilling. That's how good it is.
But fools will be fools, and where's he gone to?
Coming in at number 2 is "Foolish Love," and it's a song about falling in love, being scared, also about being pretentious and putting yourself out there to be more than what you are. And oh my god, what song better to emphasize your early coming to terms with your dating scene. It starts very melancholy, and then it just picks up because you're scared at first, you're trepidatious, but then you will walk without care, beat my snare, and all for the sake of a foolish love. And that's a great introduction to the song. And yes, a great, awesome, amazing song. Coming in at number 1 is "Beauty Mark," and this is all about living in the legacy of somebody who has done something so great for so long that you're following in the tracks of, but yet you don't have what they have. But yet you've got something a little bit different. And it's recognizing to yourself and to them that, hey, I may not be you or you, but I've got my own stuff. And I'm going to run with it. And I may not follow in the same shoes that you did, but I've got it. I've got it. I love the song, and the beat is great. The style is astounding, and my favorite Rufus Wainwright song of all time, Beauty Mark. Now, as I said before, most of you aren't going to know who Rufus Wainwright is. And he's done a lot of collaborations with other legendary musicians that predate him even. And also even some that are remotely current. But this man has crossed boundaries in ways that are so unique and so profound and so astonishing that I truly consider him a legend. And I take a look back on when I discovered him back in 1998, how unique I thought that it was at the time for a gay man to sing about gay themes in music, to be featured in a magazine. And here we are all these years later, and while things are better, I mean, we have, at least an African American gay artist who is a rapper that crossed over into country music and won a Grammy for it. I mean, that's somewhat of a game changer right there. I think that Rufus has laid some groundwork that continues to be, it needs to be explored even further than just being there in existence. His musicality, his orchestration, his operatic works, the contributions that he's made to music as a society is astounding, and I can't think of somebody in my own generation, that I could say that I look up to as much as Rufus, even Lady Gaga. She would probably be a close second, but Rufus would be tops. So, to wrap this long video up, I want to know what you guys think out there about music that has influenced you, and I want you to be a part of this program. So, I want you to take some time and think it out, and I want you to send me a video of yourself talking about an artist that has been introduced to you from somebody else and how it's made an impact on your life, and give me one song as an example. You have to give me at least initials, um, at least a state location, permission to post your video. It has to be a minute or under. So think this out. So I'm gonna need you to be like, "Hi, I'm CM from Kalamazoo, Michigan, and I was introduced to Sarah McLachlan from the very first guy I ever dated, and the first song that really meant a lot to me was Ice, and ever since then I've been a huge fan, and that's why I love her so much." Kind of as simple as that. And then you just get a shout out. We need to spread the love of music and the impact it has on us further than what we think we know it does. So, anyways, thank you so much. Oh, by the way, sorry. Send those reference videos to this email address. And thank you so much for watching. Love and light to you all.